All right, what's up? Jack 3 no oob tutorial. Just gonna jump straight into it. I have some notes. So I think you should start with no oob. Do not start with any percent or hero mode because no oob teaches you the fundamentals of the game. It teaches you jetboarding. It teaches you driving all the 5 main cars of the game, how to shoot the beam reflexor, how to shoot the wave concussor, and all that jazz. So let's just get into it. I don't like wasting people's time. So let's just go. Before you jump into the game, you're gonna need to know how to hover. You can run on any version of the game. You can run the PS2, PS3, and PS4 versions. With PS2, it's technically the best and most competitive version. PS3, you're going to have to deal with the punch glitch if you're running on that, but that's fine. PS4 is kind of annoying because it's got like 8 directions in the analog stick, so that's annoying. But you can still run on that. Emulator, again, it's not allowed on the boards. I'll teach you how to shoot the wave concussor later in the run, and I'll also teach you what you need to practice the most. And if this is your very first speed game, please listen to my advice to the best that you can, and don't copy what the top runners do because you're going to learn a lot faster if you go into speed running this game or speed running any game with the right mentality. So first thing I'll teach you is don't reset. Don't start over and over again and reset the training course. If you lose 2 seconds in training course, you'll easily lose those 2 seconds in the end game. So what's the point? They're both in the same run. So like, just don't do that. So copy this training course. I have input display on stream below me. So we're going to go ahead and just do training course. You're going to do that. You're going to do that. Do not do flag proxy because flag proxy is really bad. So you're just going to want to try and copy what I do here. Going to roll jump here, uppercut spin, grab the ledge. You'll get a little bit of a boost if you hold X there. Roll jump in the back side of these little things here because you can get stuck if you do that. Here's a little trick. When you ground pound through this thing, you want to spin when you're at the bottom, otherwise the recoil will like bounce off the floor. So spin like that. I didn't do it right because I paused, but you can spin very low to the ground. I'll teach you this as well. This is something a lot of new people seem to struggle with. So you're going to want to punch over here and stand like right on this line. A lot of people jump into this and do that, and then they get the walking animation like that. What you want to do is you want to stand here, make sure you're at the peak of your jump before you touch the analog stick. You can even be a bit further out if you want. Probably actually better that way. So high jump, and then when you're at the top, you start moving in and spinning at the same time. So do that, do that. Perfect. And then you jump up to the top. I'll show it one more time. Do that, and do that. Spin, grab that, and then go into here. Now for gladiators, you're just going to want to try your best. It is a little bit random. A lot of people don't know that it's actually random. How far out the gladiators spawn and which hand they have the sword in and what animation they can do. If they have like a big sword in their left hand, it'll be like out in front of them like that, and you can get hit on that easily. So it's not always your fault. But try your best. So you're going to want to like try get a good claw grip and skip the cutscene and like pull out the gun immediately, turn to the left, and just run in a circle like that. And you don't want to be too far away, otherwise they don't die in one shot. But you don't want to be too close either, otherwise you waste too much time. And if you kill this guy, and then the lava cycle starts going up afterwards, it means you got the 5. And so I did, and that's good. And now you need to wait for the cycle. Just checking for chat. Is the game volume okay? Is everything okay? Okay, so once this guy comes out, you want to punch him and spin him. I missed there, because again, when you pause and explain stuff, it like goes kind of bad. But when you miss that first guy, it's not that big of a deal, because he'll stay in that general area. Punch and uppercut, and you'll land on that. You don't have to do this jump when you're new. I don't recommend it. But if you want to try it, go for it. Like, if you're not consistent with it, ditch it. That's the one thing you need to do when you're new, by the way, is ditch anything that is hard or very inconsistent or you lose runs to, especially when it's not necessary like this. But when the platform's height reaches about, I prepared a little bit of a marker here, my little fish. So at the bottom of the fish, when the bottom of the platform here reaches like this part of the roof, just below it, I already prepare a jump. So I do this. Okay, so I'm not going to do it because the camera just went in the way. But you can jump and then like get a little bit of a bounce. You can see like you can sort of bounce on this thing. When it's going up, it's a lot stronger, so you can like get a bounce, double jump, and spin into the light. Yeah, I know, but it's not a huge deal. Like, it's better that people try it out themselves, I think. So when you get into this, you want to skip the cutscene quickly and just tap back and forth between the guns. You only really need to pull out the blaster mod, but I just like to tap between the two. So the moment you get movement, you want to do 2 quick uppercuts towards the left, and the gun will get pulled out mid the second uppercut. So it looks like this. So uppercut, uppercut, and then the gun will get pulled away. If you miss the first uppercut, you want to wait on the platform because Jack will pull away the gun on his own. And then you want to single jump over this little ledge and roll jump into this next mission and punch. Like so. And now begins Kangarats. So skip that, roll jump to the leaper, and then get on the roof on the left. Just basically copy what I do. On the first one, you're going to want to... I may have missed it. I don't really have an audio cue. But yeah, this first guy can be a bit tricky. You're going to want to teach yourself how to do this mission with the camera turned to the side. Because the leapers, or the Kangarats, don't react to you if the camera's not facing them. So that's very, very useful. And we use that to our advantage. The only one where you don't do it is really this one up here. Some people do, but I don't think it's necessary. You just run straight ahead, grab them like that. It's pretty easy. Don't worry about the thing in the top left, by the way. That's there because of debug mode. Debug mode is a tool that I'll teach you, that you can look up, that can help you with mission select. It can help you float around. For example, if I press L and R like that, I just start flying. I can free cam if I want. It's just a really helpful practice tool. But let's just continue on. You can Google that, just type in Jack 3 debug mode, or you can ask in the Discord or anything like that. It's usually pinned or something like that. This guy, I don't really manipulate the camera for either. I only do it for 3 at the start. Because this guy's running the correct way. If he wasn't running the right way, then there's no... then I would want to manipulate him. Another thing that you can do if you want is you can play No Oob with speech volume 0. It only saves real time in all missions and hundo. Oh, I should put the music back on. This next trick is easier with speech volume if you're new. So if you're new, you might want to do that. I'll show you what I mean. So you want to jump over that ladder and go to the left of the rat. So he runs to the right, and then chase him over here, and then grab him. When you grab him, we're going to want to run over to the satellite very quickly so that Cleaver's dialogue box, like the communicator, doesn't pop up immediately and interrupts us getting to the next mission. So we're going to grab that and get over here quickly, and then the mission starts. And once I'm in satellite, you can see that the communicator is... It's actually not blocking me. That's interesting. Usually it'd be like going in front of the screen and blocking the satellite minigame. But it wasn't that time. The communicator just doesn't exist on speech volume 0. So if you are missing that last rat, turn off speech volume 0. You can catch the last rat and go into it into the satellite game immediately. Normally, you'd have, with speech volume on, you'd have to sit outside of the Kangarat game. If you don't hurry over there quick enough, you'd have to sit there and wait for him to stop talking. So that's a lot of time lost. Now for satellite, you're basically looking for pairs. You're looking for doubles in the first phase, and you're looking for pairs in the second. So I'll teach you what that is. So I got 1 double there. So basically, you're going to need to wait until the symbols are towards the middle. Otherwise, you can get a double. There's a double for me, so 1 right there. You get more points, which means the satellite ends quicker. I got 3 doubles. Below average-ish. That's a pair. So in this phase, you're looking for 2 symbols in at the same time. So that's a single. This is a pair. Another pair. So you want as many pairs as possible. And the way you can tell your satellite is below average is if you get something called the slow cycle, which I will get here. So I will actually enter slow cycle at a really bad time here. You can also get a frame perfect, like, sort of double here if you time it well enough, but I don't recommend it. So we're going to enter slow cycle at 68. That's one of the worst numbers because not only is 69 just a better number overall, but it is also, you have 3 pairs coming in, so I'll show you why. 1 there, 2 there, 3 there, and then the mission would end, but now I have to sit there and wait until they have to, like, hurry into the middle. So, there we go. We completed the satellite. Again, if you're new to the game and you're new to speedrunning, do not reset at satellite. Please, for the love of God, you can gain so much time later. Do not reset to the early game. It is like a trap every new player falls into. I've been speedrunning for almost 10 years at this point. Do not reset in the early game. Please, don't do that. Moving on. I can't understate that enough, by the way. So... follow my movement here. I like to jump a lot because if you're moving, you can see how, like, the leaper sort of, like, bumps up and down, and you lose a little bit of, like, speed on the ground from that. So, like, if I were to run up this next hill, like, over the pebbles like this, you can see how, like, I'm not traveling forward every time, I'm traveling up a little bit. So you don't want to do that, basically. So you want to just, like, follow along, like, a straight line to the door, and you want to get off the leaper here, mash triangle. And this loading zone is for some reason really, really far out. In all missions, it's not like that. So you want to go through into the crevice once it's open, and then punch up and to the left and walk into the cutscene. Okay, that wasn't correct. Like that, basically. That way you don't get caught on the slope as much. So talk to Cleaver, mash triangle so you can get in the car as quickly as possible. And we're going to do the tutorial in a little bit of a glitchy way here. We're going to drive forward, and then we're going to ignore that light on our right here. Go straight for this, hold L2 and brake, and then reverse and turn the car this way. Again, I have controller cam if you need to look at that another time. So I won't be going over it multiple times. I'm going to assume you know what to do. The skid turn is straightforward. Just press circle. Bumping the wall can sometimes be good. It was a little slow there. In all missions, you would just jump to the right here and drive towards the desert race, but we are in no oob, so pause. I like to brake right as I enter, like my front tires are in the circle, so like right there. Well, obviously when I'm in full speed. The car needs to be fully stopped for this. Jump, hold to the side, and hit L1 and pause immediately. Once the light goes away, you're free to restart warp. So you want to, this is your first restart warp right here. And now we're free to roam the desert. Now you're going to want to take the line that I'm taking here. Drive over this rock. Hold back so that the car doesn't flip over. So we're going to learn to drive the Tough Puppy, which is basically like the first car. You're going to, throughout this run, you're going to, some of the fundamentals is learning how to drive all 5 main vehicles, which is the Tough Puppy, the Sand Shark, the Dune Hopper, the Gila Stomper, and the Ramrod. Mash X on restart warps, that is correct. You're going to need to do that because you can sit in the fail screen for a while, so you can mash that away. Make sure to do that. A lot of people forget that. Thank you for reminding me. So just keep going over here. Again, just follow my lines through the desert. And now comes a trick that's going to be a little bit tough for me to explain, but it's very, very feel-based. It is Cave Skip. So in No Oob, Cave Skip is... fairly easy, but it's weird and we don't really know how it works. But what you're going to want to do is line up your satellite. A good way to line up the camera is just to tap L2 like that, so the camera's like lined up behind you. Line up the satellite with this egg connector and, like, you can see it, right? The egg connector and like that. And once the car starts like shaking, basically, you're going to want to jump out of the car and land on the backside like this. Like hold back so you land on the backside. And now you want to wait on the car for a bit and also damage it. So we're going to spin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to wait for it an extra 2 seconds. And now it's stopped bouncing. You're going to want to do this when you're a beginner. You're going to wait for it to stop bouncing. And now you're going to punch off. And you want to punch off towards this big egg over here. And you're going to want to hug it like this. If you're not going through this egg right here, that means you got the right side. So this trick basically despawns one side of the egg wall. So if you didn't go through the left side will usually despawn. I'd say it's about 70-30. But this means that you got the right side. So you can see I went through. There's no need to check the right side. If when I punched over here and I didn't go in, I can just roll jump to the car, get in the car, and I will know for certain that the right side's despawned. So we can drive through the egg wall, and there you go. This is a pretty finicky trick, but that's sort of the gist of it. Hopefully I explained everything well enough there. So you're going to just want to drive the tough puppy through the cave. If you're on a bad PS2, even on a good PS2, you're going to have your first series of extended inputs here, or dropped inputs. When you reach this spiral here, your inputs sometimes like won't register for some reason. The game, the way it handles lag is like if I'm holding to the left and then I let go, but the game is lagging, it's going to keep that left press held. Is my webcam sitting in lava? It's my keyboard. I can do that. Also, I'm going to turn on the lamp real quick. Oh, there we go. Got a little bit of light in here. So yeah, that's extended inputs, and extended inputs are really annoying, especially if you have a bad PS2, like your PS2 is slow. Also, yeah, the webcam is laggy because of the bad lighting, but regardless, we're going to move on, and you might get it right here. So it can be sometimes difficult to control your car and to follow down here because of just like lag. Like that'll just happen. So that if you think that's just happening to you, it happens to everybody, and it's unfortunate. This wall looks very difficult to scale, but it's actually not. So you just want to like drive into it and then hold right like that. Like super easy to scale. You don't want to do it too high up, but you don't want to do it too low either. Take some good lines here. And now we need to do destroy eggs with the right vehicle. Obviously, this vehicle does not have a gun on it, so we're going to need to destroy it. So once we get to here, where the map loads back in, like we get just to the cave entrance, we're going to jump out of the car and we're going to pull out the not the needle laser, the Vulcan Fury, the blue gun. And basically, you've performed a percentage warp right now. We didn't have any of these guns before, but because we're in this mission right now, the game thinks that we've done every single mission up until this point, and one of the mission rewards that was in one of the missions that we just skipped was the Vulcan Fury. So we get all the rewards, and that's also how we're going to get the Jetboard later. Well, actually, we're going to get the Jetboard the intended way, but we're going to get a bunch of stuff in the game that we never really collected, but the game assumes we're at this point in the game. So jump out, jump and do a low spin, so just like flick your 2, like jump and hit circle like really fast like that, and hold R1 and blast the car like that, and just mash X here. I like to like jitter my hand like over all the buttons like this. I don't know why. It doesn't really do anything, but you just want to be mashing X. That's really the only button that does anything. Here we go. And now for destroy eggs. Oh, maybe I should restart mission. I'm thinking about it because that egg won't mess with you, but because I started pausing and took things a bit late, I'm a bit off cycle. But that's okay, I think. So just destroy that first one, destroy the second one. It's really easy. This third one, you're gonna take your left. This is what I do. I take my left thumb away and I drive in a straight line. I pull it over so I can do this. So I can turn the camera like this. And if that fails, you can hold L2 and like that. And then you can let go of the right analog stick to turn the camera like completely sideways and blast it like that. And then you can take out this one. And then this one, you need to do this camera thing, otherwise it won't aim at the egg. Okay. You can shoot the bats if you want. They don't really do anything. It's just for boredom. And again, you can see how I'm like sometimes leaning the car backwards. That just comes with like learning how all the vehicles work. You don't want any of the vehicles to flip, so sometimes I'm just pulling back so that the car isn't ever flipping over. So once again, I jump here and I just hold back so that the car isn't flipping over. And then the car will aim upwards once you get close to this right here. If you want to do a fun party trick, you can first person here, restart mission, and you'll see the inside of Jack's face. funny. Very funny. So now we're going to escape the cave. There's only really one trick. You want to restart at mid 256. I use an audio cue. If you do it too early, the game will just pause. If you do it too late, you just lose time. Yeah, it's like 256.5-ish. It's like in the middle of 256. If you do this escape well, you can get 217. That's basically the max this cave has to offer. Watch somebody get 218 in the future, and I will be wrong. That would be funny. But yeah, keep close to the left. 217. There you go. Once the timer goes away, you want to restart warp as well. And just mash X. Get this screen to go away as quickly as you can. And we're going to drive back to the garage for the Dune Hopper now. It'd be funny, guitar. It might be possible in TAS, yeah. Be great. You can try to avoid driving over the rocks for the most part, but like some are fine. Like I jumped there basically. It depends on the car and like, you know, if the rocks are good, like sometimes they aren't. So you're just gonna want to take this path. Sometimes you'll get a boost from the enemy vehicles. This is basically where you're gonna get your first taste of despawning vehicles and how that works. So Marauders will despawn if they are in front of you, or if they are too far behind you, they'll despawn. If they're too far in front of you and at like almost a 45-degree angle and you have the camera turned around, they'll despawn. So if some car is annoying you, you know you're going to bump into him in the front, you can try and despawn him, and I'll try and show that. And if you have 3 cars behind you, you might want to keep those 3 so that nobody in the front annoys you. So this guy in the front is going to be annoying. I have no way of despawning him because he's dead in front of me. But he's going to bump into me on this hill, and it's going to be annoying. Okay, we're good. I'm going to try and outrun these guys, but I want to keep them on screen. But I also do want some boost in front of me, so I'm going to jump down this hill. This actually saves a little bit of time, jumping down the hill like that. And I caught myself in one of the worst scenarios, which is where there's one vehicle that's, like, behind me like that. Yeah, you'll get some experience with this, basically, but you can despawn vehicles. And basically, I'll jump out of the car at full speed. If you have a boost there, get in the Dune Hopper. We're going to get some more despawn shenanigans here. I want to get this boost. That guy's too far out of the way. I'm going to boost and jump. This is another technique you can use where you want to boost on the ground, and like once the boost is about to end, you want to jump to preserve the speed you have. It's very nice to have a... So I'm going to just grind for a boost to show you guys what it's like to pass over this river when you have a boost. It's very, very useful. So, and you'll have a boost a lot going into the river here. So I need to show this off. You want to be on the very right side and boost and jump like that. And then hold back and you'll clear the river like perfectly like that. Yeah, you also want to hold L1 a lot of the time to like avoid flipping and just to make the steering a bit easier. It just comes with time. Another thing you can do is you can actually do a low jump with L1 by jumping and then hitting L1 very quickly after you leave the ground. And you can like lower your jump. It's actually very difficult to do, like well, but you can do that. You see how I'm not like doing that. So right here, you need a boost for this upcoming trick, but having 2 is ideal as well. So I'm unsure if I want to show you guys this, but there is a trick that's called Island Hop here. We're actually going to skip it for now. What you can do is you can ramp off of this rock right here and jump straight to the island over there. And it is a lot easier than it looks, but we're going to skip it for now. So what you're going to do is you're going to jump here and jump here. Very easy. You can also cancel boost in the air, so I'm going to like use it. I'm going to boost in the air and press square like that. I want to hold square for like a quarter second to cancel my boost. And I'm going to do the same there. You're going to need this second boost. So we're about to enter a really wonky wrong warp sort of trick that's called the Dex Warp. We're going to jump into the water with... there's a lot of... We're going to warp into the halfway up the next mission in the Monk Temple. And the way we do that is by jumping into the water, having a boost active and being in first person, and the car can also not be tilted too far to either of the sides. So this just takes a bit of practice, but it's actually fairly straightforward. It just needs those requirements. You can't be too close to the island on the right, and you also can't be too far back. So I'm just going to try and show it here. I'm going to jump and press L1 again like that, and then the car is facing correctly. This should work. I'm going to boost and go into first person, and the car is facing correctly. So we're going to do that, and that should work. Yep, there we go. Also, this only works once, so if you want to practice it, you're kind of shit out of luck. It only works that one time. Not really sure why. If you fail it and you go back and try it, you can get it again, but it only works from drive to temple to monk climb. Like, if you want to do it on any other mission, for some reason it just doesn't work. And now we're coming up to monk climb, which is where you get your first little bit of taste of platforming that isn't training course. So we're out of the driving now, and we're going to learn how to use the red gun. So this is how you use the red gun, basically. There's a couple combos you can use, and there's a couple hide exploits. So obviously you got your double jump spin and stuff like that, but as you see, the wave concussor gives you extra height. So you can jump and you can shoot, and basically your second jump can get stored between this. So you can jump, shoot, jump, and you can jump, shoot, jump, spin. Like that. That's a very like nice lengthy combo if you want to like sort of space stuff out like that. The very important one is channeling your high jump with a concussor jump. So a lot of people like to crouch before they shoot, like this or something like that. I can't help you with that because the way I've always done it is I shoot and I quickly input an L1X on the controller like that. So you can see that's the way you do it. You can even spin at the top. So that is a very, very powerful height exploit sort of thing. And you can again see on the controller cam how I do it, if you want to copy the way I do it. So what we're going to do is, instead of going the casual way up here, we're going to do a small shortcut. We're not going to do the exact way the world record does it. We're going to jump up here, and the camera's going to be a bit awkward when you enter the temple for the first time, so be mindful of that. We're going to high jump, and once we get to the top, we're going to hit X a bunch of times into what's known as an infinite jump ceiling. So basically, a couple ceilings in Jack 1, 2, and 3 gives you this grounded state where the ceiling will give Jack a grounded state, and you can uppercut out of it, you can punch out of it, you can jump. So as you see, I'm just jumping infinitely, and the moment I spin, like I fall, basically. So what we're gonna do is do this high jump and just like slowly make our way around here and get up to this spot. Now we're gonna do another one of those jumps, and this one has to be really good. So, and also don't spin at the top of your jumps because otherwise you'll like just fall straight down. So this one has to be pretty good, and you'll make it up to this spot right here. The world record goes on the left and like takes a big corner cut here, but we're just gonna, just for the safety of it, jump up to this platform. So I'll show this one more time in full speed. So get up on this. Jump and get up there. And then we're gonna grab these. Don't worry about being facing the wrong way here. It's not too bad. You can double jump out of it if you're facing to the right, like so. And then you can do that a little bit. And then if you want to play it safe, you can grab the poles, but you can also high jump as well, like here. And you can get one of these stand points right here as well. I like doing it from here, actually. And doing it like that. You can spin and shoot at the same time, and you can get one of those stand points as well. Small corner cut. I'm going to make a little bit quick save here because this next mission likes to crash sometimes. So which mission am I getting rid of? I guess I'll get rid of that. So let's pull out the memory card. Give me a sec. Here we go. But if you want to just take the poles, you can go like that and then double jump and punch into it like that. I'll teach you a couple more combos that are useful in the next mission. Yep, so we didn't crash, that's good. Monk gliders, very straightforward, there's nothing really to it. There was a couple talks about whether or not skipping one of the rings at the end was worth it. Skipping 2 rings at the end was worth it. I think you're better off just getting every ring because it gives you more speed. One thing I like doing is I like not touching the control stick after a while after you get off one of those boosters. I feel like it preserves a bit more speed, but it could be placebo. Like I like dipping kind of like low into one of these and then just not touching the control stick for a while. And I feel like it keeps really good speed. So in Volcano, I'm going to be teaching you all the next sort of combo that you want to use. And that is, well, basically what you learned in Temple just now is going to be, you're going to have to learn how to do that even better in the Volcano. And that's why I think the progression of No Oob is such a good category for a beginner, because you get introduced to the mechanics at such a nice order and things just progressively get more difficult. And like it's like those fundamentals you learned in the early game are going to become, you know, you're going to learn those, like you're going to have those mastered by the end of the game, basically. Like you get pushed more and more for your fundamentals as the game goes on, and that's why I really like it. So this is pretty straightforward. It's actually pretty calm. It's pretty cozy. I like this mission. A lot of people don't like it. Yeah, we'll get to that. We'll get to those, Tan Man. We'll get to those. If you want to do something really cool, oh nice. You can do that. You can shoot once as you're coming up the wind thing, and you can hit this. But it's just for the swag. Like, there's nothing to it. Missed that ring there. But you can, like, do that, basically. Oh, I missed the ring. So, I'll actually teach you what happens if you miss a ring. You can just make sure you stay in neutral height and start tapping downwards constantly. And that's a way to preserve that speed. So, that's really, really useful. It's just, like, constantly be tapping downwards, and you won't, like, dip straight down. So, you're going to roll jump twice here, and now we're going to... Okay, let me actually see. Unrelated, but you said that the warp only works one time, one death. Oh, okay, yeah, that's not really related to the tutorial. I thought it was a question about the tutorial. So now we're going to be teaching... I'm going to be teaching you... I'll teach you both of the ways here, like, because you never know what could be easier. And also, I will teach you this method too, just in case you really can't get this down. But I really recommend learning this. So you want to be at this crack in the wall, and you want to be a bit to the right of it. And now you're going to do your very best concussor high jump. And a very big problem I see with every new player playing this game, I don't know why this has been, it's more of a recent thing, but you want to spin late. A lot of people I see, they do this jump and then they spin like right away, and they don't make it. You want to high jump, spin, shoot. So look at the way I do it, and look at how late I do it. So like that. You're going to high jump, spin, shoot. And you want to spin and shoot very quickly, like one after another. Like that. Because it takes a while for the second shot to come out. So you want to do just that. There is a harder combo that you can do if you want. You can be walking, and you can do this, basically. Let me just show it. So you can also do that. You can shoot, double jump, spin, shoot. That's a little bit faster, but it's very difficult. I recommend doing the high jump instead. And I haven't done this in a while, so excuse me if I can't really teach you this. But I know that you can jump into this crack, because this is how we used to do it. You can jump into this crack in the wall, and then you can hold up left, double jump and spin, double jump and spin, double jump, spin, and then sort of grab the ledge up there. That's another way of doing it. But I don't recommend it. It's pretty slow. You're going to want to know how to do this jump. Maybe when you're completely new, it's fine doing this way, but you're going to need it, basically. Also, since I don't have ammo, I'm going to have to do this way. So there is ammo waiting for me at the top, so it's not a huge deal. Another thing a lot of people don't know is if you want to pull away the gun, you can just hold up. Roll jumps are very difficult whenever you have a gun out, so let me just show that down here, actually. So roll jumps, you can do something called directional changing roll jumps, which is basically where you roll forward, and then hold to one of the sides. And you can get like a super, like you press X very late and you can get like a directional change on your roll jump. These directional changing roll jumps are not possible when you have the gun out. You'll just do a single jump. So let me show that. You see? He just jumps to the side. You can do a very small one. Like you can do one like kind of like to the side a bit. Like you can do that. A little bit to the right, a little bit to the right, a little bit to the left. But it's good if you're doing like movement tech like normally. That you don't want to have that out. Like you don't want to have that. You don't want to have the gun out. So when you get to the top, I believe I pull it away. I actually might not pull it away because I do 2 roll jumps, a high jump there, and I punch. But for some scenarios, you want to do that. I think mid roll jump here, I swap to this. Yeah, that's what I do. And then I keep rolling up, keep rolling up. And now I'm gonna grab this ammo. You don't need to. It's just because I was showing off and I was showing this thing. So there's 2 ways of doing this. I'm gonna teach you probably the other way because it's easier. So now we're gonna need to get to the cutscene over here. So the cutscene is right here, and it only activates when you're ascending upwards. So that can be done by grabbing the ledge here on the right. It can be done by climbing up the ladder. It can be done by jumping off the ladder. It can be done by jumping off over here, shooting and double jumping into the cutscene. So there's a lot of ways. The ledge grab is probably the way you want to do it. So you're gonna want to get up on this part of the rock here. You can then jump to the back part here, this rock, jump to this rock, and then jump to the end. The way I do it, and I'm one of the only people that do this, is I jump to this rock. I jump and I get kind of an infinite jump ceiling on this spike thing, and then I jump to this. I think you'll probably find the other way easier, so I'm going to teach you that. So we're going to want to uppercut, spin, shoot. And another thing you can do is you can spin. So when you uppercut, spin, shoot, Jack will shoot twice. Like that, you see that? And that's because you're spinning, you're activating a rapid fire. If you spin a second time, like, obviously I wasn't on the floor there, but if you spin a second time like this, he won't shoot a second time, and that's a very good thing to do. And you can also spin cancel. So when you get up here, you can press spin and quickly jump, and then quickly get up here. So that's like a fast way to do that. Now I jump to this right here, but I'm not going to be doing that. We're just going to debug mode that just so I can get back without dying. So once you get up here, you're just going to want to jump, shoot, jump, and then you can also spin if you want to be really safe. Get on the back here and jump, shoot, and you can also spin. Be careful. When you get on this, you'll instantly get a ground animation, but like you can stand on like most parts here, and then you can uppercut safely here. And like I said, there's many ways of doing this. You can jump. I like jumping and spinning and grabbing the ledge, and then the cutscene will activate. And Jack will pull away the gun. There's a couple ways of getting back, but the way you should be doing it is just by panning the camera down so you can see the platforms, and then roll jumping and spinning backwards. You can roll jump uppercut, you can roll jump high jump, you can roll jump. I like to risk the uppercut, although the uppercutting on these lava platforms are really janky. You'll see how the uppercut didn't even gain any height, but it is fast, so I recommend, you know, testing that out for yourself, sort of thing. For the fastest movement when walking like this without anything, you're gonna want to roll jump and punch. Just chain them, like so. And I'm gonna do a roll jump, high jump here. Punch, roll jump, punch to this. Mash triangle on that. Punch, roll jump, punch. And now we're gonna do a roll jump, punch, roll jump, punch. Well, punch, roll jump, high jump. And then when you're over these spikes, you just want to spin and mash the jump button. You have a couple frames where you can get a jump off of these spikes. You don't need the invisibility power up. Okay, so obviously I paused. So if that happens, you can just uppercut, spin, mash the jump button, and spin, and that'll go away. So there's be a couple spiders waiting for you here. Pull out the beam reflexor, get them out, and then you're going to need a claw grip to pull away the gun too, because you want to get those directional changing roll jumps in. in case you roll jump the wrong way. Pull out the wave concussor and charge the shot here. This is kind of a tricky part, and we still don't really know exactly why you die here sometimes, but you're going to want to approach it from like slightly in the left. You're going to want to roll over the ledge, activate your roll jump, and release the shot, and just try to copy what I do, basically. Yeah, sometimes you die. We still don't really know why. Tassers, get on that. So, charge it. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. Recharge it. Like that. So, you want to do exactly that. You want to roll jump, shoot high jump, ground pound, spin, punch off the platform. It's very like, it's a lot of little things going on. The reason you want to get off the platform is because there's a bunch of spiders in the next room. Which actually, I think if I wait long enough, those spiders will pop up. But if you get off the platform and start roll jumping over here quick enough, those spiders will not spawn around the edges of the door. So you're going to want to keep the wave concussor out, not get it away, because we're about to do some more concussor high jumps. And there's a couple ways of doing this. So basically, you're going to want to get over these two gates. There's a couple ways of doing it. I'll show you all of them. But I do recommend doing the concussor way. So down here, you can see that, you can see the like sort of crack where the gates are coming up from. The gates will actually be like slightly random depending on a couple things. So I got fairly high gates. You can get pretty low gates and you can make it over the gates pretty easily, but for some reason the gates just pop out so quickly out of the ground that this is the highest possible gate you can get, I'm pretty sure. So just sometimes the gates will be kind of high. Sometimes they won't. It's kind of random. But if you get high gates, it will test your ability to do perfect concussor high jumps. So we're going to want to do the same thing. Just get over that. And this is the highest possible gate. You can make it over if you have troubles with it. You can do this as well. You can also, if you're really good, you can do an extended uppercut under this. Obviously, I died because that. But yeah, so if you die, you will get reset back to the highest possible gates, which you can see at the bottom. But you can make it over if you're really good. If you're really good, you can make it over. And mid-roll jump here, you want to do 2 punches and pull away this. This saves about a second when you get into this room. Once you roll into that cutscene, you want to skip it and hold back right. Do a short punch, and then do a roll jump into the cutscene. And then hold L2 and mash triangle for the light jack. He'll pull away the gun and then go into light jack if you don't pull away the gun in the corridor earlier. I'll just say back right, yeah, back left. Now you want to go back right and go towards the portal. Go through that. Now you're going to want to do some Jack 1 movement here. That was weird. I got like out of the portal standing instantly. Okay, so right here, roll jump, high jump, get over this. And you're going to want to jam yourself into this back tire here and start spraying the regular blaster mod. So you're going to want to just look at what I do in the controller. So you can see that I'm jumping and spinning, and then I'm mashing R1. Basically, in the next mission, I'm about to teach you perfect wave concussor, perfect blaster mod and beam reflexor spread. So you need to get out of the. You're gonna want to get out of the cave or the garage by getting to the very edge of it and having the map disappear. You're gonna want to restart warp, and you'll be popped up at Defend Ashland. So let's go to, we're going to just tap, punch in a rhythm here, punch into Ashland there, get the cutscene. And Ashland's got a lot of shit going for it. This is the first really difficult mission that has more depth to it than you think. But I'll try my best. So this mission has a lot of things on a priority basis. It'll drop light eco, dark eco, red, yellow, and blue ammo. You're going to want the yellow ammo to clear all the marauders as quickly as you can. So I'm going to start the mission, and we're going to just kill all the marauders, and we're going to see what happens. Oh, I meant to use the beam reflexor. So I actually got dark eco, yellow, yellow. That's really, really fortunate. That's really lucky. So we're going to want to pick up both the Dark Eco and the yellow. I'm going to want to fill my Dark Eco to full, not because I need it, but because I want more yellow. What it basically, the game does is it works on a priority basis. Is it gives you health when you're low, it gives you Dark Eco when you're missing it, it gives you ammo when you're missing it. So it gives you what you're missing, basically. So by having everything else full, and by being low on yellow, the game will constantly give you yellow drops. And also you get 30 ammo instead of the usual 10 for everything here. So, I'm going to go into this mode and show you that the Marauders will either spawn over here, towards the middle, or in the back here. So I'm going to restart warp again, just to start over, or I'm going to restart the mission, and I'll show you again. And we want those 3 spots to always be, at least 2 of them, to be off screen at all time. Because if we're looking at the lake or the arena as a whole, we're not letting any of the gladiators spawn in because we are occupying the space where they're spawning. Basically, they're spawning behind us where the camera isn't at. So we want to keep the camera away from those spawn points, which is on my right, behind me, and on my left right now. So again, we're going to spray these out. Collect this. So we're going to get the red because, again, having full red and having full blue, you'll always have full blue coming into this, by the way. Never shoot the blue gun unless you really, really have to. 99% of the times you'll never have to shoot the blue gun. So right now I'm keeping all spots hidden, and we're going to do some perfect sprays, which basically is we're going to do a single jump, a spin, and we're going to shoot 10 bullets in one jump by just spraying R1. So when you jump and shoot and spin, you get 5 bullets, but by the end of that first spin, you can shoot another 5 bullets. So I'm going to be able to shoot 10 every burst. So it's going to sound like and then another 5 basically right after this. So you're going to hear that. So like that, that's the full 10 burst basically. So again, I'm keeping the guys off the screen. I'm keeping everything behind me. And now I'm getting low on ammo, so I'm going to make my way over to the left, check what drops they have. There's one. And now I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to work my way back over to the other side and pick up the ammo that I missed. So there's one here. It can be difficult to get full sprays, and you don't always want to be full spraying. So now I'm negating one of the spawn points, but I have another handful of spawn points that are spawning right now, so that's good. So we're going to want to keep it away from that. There we go. There's also a spawn point out in the desert as well. It's basically those spawn points where you're not facing. So I'm constantly turning the camera just to like manipulate the guys to spawn, and that was really fast. So we got one car left. I can either choose to spray it out with the beam reflexor, or I can choose to Vulcan Fury it. Only use the Vulcan Fury at the very end. Unfortunately, this is just like really slow. This guy is annoying. We're going to shoot him out. And now you're always going to want to face this way when the mission ends. Never any other direction, because there will be 2 vehicles that'll drive over the horizon, and one will try to crash into this. See? There they are on the map. One will try to crash into this palm tree, the other one will try to crash into the other one. As long as you're facing this way, or you're in the corner over there, facing that way, you'll despawn them. And that's like the best I can do, Ashland. I feel like I did a decent job. So now Ashland's going to grab the Jetboard out of the car, and now this is where the run really starts to ramp up. You want to do one of the oldest tricks in the book when you get close to the car. You want to press select on the controller to pause the game, and then unpause and quickly mash triangle. You can override new secret unlocked. You can you've achieved the leg armor. Just basically when you get rewards in the game, or the game tells you something, it prevents you from getting in vehicles. But if you quickly double tap select, you can prevent that. Basically, super old trick in the book. So we're gonna want to head over here. I'm going to use a boost to make a corner cut there. You usually have a boost there, and you want to save a boost for that corner cut if you can. It's always nice to just hold R1. You might hit something on the way. So I have 0 boosts here. I'll tell you where you want to use boosts if you have some boosts here. Thank you, Husley. I'm doing a tutorial right now. So gonna want to drive up here. And one of the boosts can be used on the next island. So right when you jump, you want to boost now, and then jump, and you'll go really, really far. You'll go all the way over to here. And then the other boost can be used right here, basically. And then you can jump, and right as the boost runs out, you can jump and you'll go flying. Once the map disappears, we're going to restart warp here. And now we're going to be taught some jetboard control. And you're going to need to know how to hover. You're going to need to know how to move. That comes on your own a bit. I can't really teach you a whole lot. Side flipping makes you go faster. Extended front flip, you're going to want to hold L or X. Okay, well, actually, let's just do a small little jetboard rundown. So, hovering. There's a million hover tutorials. I can't help you with that. Basically, punchboarding is just pressing square and R1 or R2. You want to do it at the start of the animation. You don't want to do it at the end because, well, it can still work, but if you do it too late like that, you won't gain any speed. You can just do that. Like so. Spinning sideways like this gives you a speed boost. If you want to do it like the pros, you can do low side flips, low to the ground. You can do this. Not doing them too well. They work best on water, but like, yeah, you can do like low side flips, but I don't recommend that when you're starting out. So you just want to do that. When you're doing extended front flipping, which is still useful to know, this was basically the best way of gaining height before the hover, is you want to jump and you want to hold X the whole time and just copy my inputs. You want to hit L1 and R1 like that, so you do a trick. You can't turn after this. And of course you want to know free fall as well. So after a hover, you can mash X, and then you can turn out of your hover. It's very useful to know. Another thing to know as well is how height works with the jetboard. When I'm just jumping like this, I'm on normal height. But whenever I like sort of let myself land, you can see that there's a wave on the ground. This is a boost jump, basically. And you can combine boost jumps with launch jumps. So L1, you get a launch jump like that. Jump pretty high up in the air. If you let yourself land on the ground a bit, you can combine boost jumps and launch jumps like that. So that's really good. Because if I just jump right away, you can see I don't jump very high. You're going to want to let yourself land to get that nice boost. And you can also time small jumps to get like a big jump like that. And that's basically it. So we're going to punchboard down here, side flip. You want to use the circle attack there on that guy. And another thing is when you're side flipping and you're just tap jumping around corners preserves speed, so that's very useful. You'll see me do that here. So if you do the low side jumps that I'm doing, you can get under those guys. If you do the normal side flips at normal height, you can't get under those guys, so you can just jetboard normally under that. You want to pull away the jetboard here just to get a little bit more forward when you grab this, because you freeze whenever you do this. So you can see I'm a bit down the stairs as opposed to being in the doorway. So side flip there. You want a triangle turn. Doesn't work all the time, but it worked there. So here comes, as you see, I'm still jumping. That basically preserves my side flip momentum. So I'm always jumping, basically. And we're going to do our first hover here. You're going to drop it early so that you don't bump into the torch in the back. Side flip here. Right on this. Side flips can be stored on railings as well, so that's very useful to know. Want to jump down there to preserve that speed. And here comes a small trick that you can do. I don't really recommend it when you're new, but you can. Yeah, circle, I use to grab tokens. It extends the hitbox a bit. It makes it easier to grab some of the tokens. Some of the stuff is so ingrained in me that I forget about it. Is when this cutscene plays, you can hold up and a little bit to the right. Wait 1 second and do a side flip, extended front flip. Like so. I actually like to hover, not extended front flip. And you can make it up to the door a bit easier. Punchboard here. This is another corridor where you want to jump. You don't want to drive around this. You want to jump to preserve your speed. And try to just get in the light. You can overshoot that and you can undershoot that. Pull out the jetboard and quickly get a hover in. You can free fall in like land perfectly here and get up this as well. You're gonna not want to do any of the shortcuts here. There's a couple shortcuts you can do. You're just gonna want to drive straight forward. Well, jetboard straight forward. Careful with jumping too high. You can bump into the torches. And again, jump around the corners. It preserves your speed. And I had a stored side flip there. So now comes the rotator room. In No Out of Bounds, there is a possibility that the end of the level can look like this. It can look like a black void. Because it's no out of bounds, and because this is an out of bounds spot, you cannot jump down there and die and death warp and have the level reload. So in order for us to not have that happen, we're gonna do rotator skip first. So what we're gonna do is, this is a tough jump. You're gonna have to practice a bit. We're gonna get under to this side with a set of concussor jumps. So we're gonna jump, shoot, spin. Or I forget. Again, a lot of this stuff is ingrained. So I'm gonna just do it, and you're gonna have to just follow how I do it. So like that, basically. We're gonna do it again. One more time. Jump, shoot, jump, spin, shoot. We're gonna grab the ledge. We're gonna make our way over here. And as you can see, the door on the other side is loaded. And we're gonna hold L3 and freeze. You can jetboard over this, but do not do that when you're new. Please do not do that. I beg of you. It is not required at all. It saves like 4 seconds and you lose half your runs. And then you wanna time your jetboarding so you can make it over that bridge just fine. And that's the end of jetboard test. That is a tough jump. You're gonna not get it right away, but just keep practicing it and you'll be right there. Now we're in Subrails, and this is just, once you get through this, hold X. It saves about 4 seconds. And we're gonna, you just have to follow what I do. I've never died here in a couple of years, because everything is so ingrained, and it's basically impossible to die. Just practice this a few times, and let your brain do the work. Autopilot it. If you go through these lasers, they do a lot of damage, so just be careful of that. And also, you don't want to be on like any of the sides whenever you're ending this. You want to be right in the middle, because otherwise the car will like sort of lose some control. Okay, so I know there is a way. So I've always done this the same way every time, but I think what you want to do as a beginner, I forget this. I think you can just mash L2 and you'll lose your dark jack or your light jack. No, I think you need to use the shield first. I forget exactly how that works because I've always done that a very certain way. But you want to pop the shield once, and then you can probably hold circle, mash L2 to pop the light jack, and then roll jump and punch over towards the elevator. The way I do it is a little bit faster, I think. Tiny bit faster, but you don't want to bother with that. So now we get to Eco Mine, which is where your jetboard test, your jetboard skills really comes to show. If you thought the last mission was complicated, then we will have more for these next 2 missions. But this is also where the run gets really fun. Gonna want to punch board here. You're gonna want to jump to set up one of those boost jumps that I taught you earlier. Turn a bit, and then hover and bounce off of this and get into the cutscene. Now, if you want to, you can hover straight away. Our goal is basically to get up to here. We want to land on this platform here. That's what we want to do. Some people are uncomfortable doing it straight from spawn. So what you can do is punch towards here, select, pause that, and then do it from either here or shoot the bridge down and do it from over here to have a better angle. So you're going to want to side flip and hover and make it over there. Of course, doing it from spawn is better, but whatever works for you. This is a tougher area, so yep. You're going to launch jump, side flip this, and be careful right here. If you fall down, too close to this edge here with the railings. Like if you start bouncing back and forth between the two railings, you'll die. So be very careful of that. Take the jetboard off and get down the next section here. Don't get off the jetboard right away because you can store fall damage and you'll splat on the ground and you'll like lose time from that. This part is just raw grinding. I can't really teach you very much. All I can really do is just to do this very smoothly, and you're gonna have to copy what I do. So you can walk over that little button in the middle and you can get into the eco mine a bit early. Like so, and now I'm in here. Pull out the jetboard, and you're just gonna have to copy what I do. So I'm just gonna be quiet. Okay, just give me a second. Just gonna be quiet, and you're just gonna have to follow what I do. Getting hit there is okay. You can do that. That's just about it. I'm gonna make my way back to the start and show it off one more time. Hopefully I won't get hit. I could restart mission. Actually, let's just do this. Is it loaded? Hello? Gotta figure out where I am. There we go. So we're gonna make our way back. I'm gonna do it again. You can also take the jetboard off if you want. Punch board as well. There we go. Once that is done, you want to be in a claw grip again and pull out the beam reflexor and try and snipe out the button here, like so. That ends that a little bit earlier. If you're uncomfortable with that, you can jetboard over to the button. Now we're entering bomb train. I will show you two ways of doing bomb train. I will show you the fastest way, and I'll show you the old way. So it depends on what you want to do. So keep in mind, the fastest way is only fast if you do the ending strat. And if you can't do the ending strat, you want to stick to the old way. So I'm going to show you the old way first. So we're going to do this. Actually, I need to show you exactly what I do at the start. So you want to pull out the beam reflexor, and you're going to want to do one 10 burst, and then you want to walk to the right side of the ammo box, do an uppercut spin, and shoot a 10 burst into the wall. Like so. Normally, I like to shoot a bit more left. But once that is done, I press the jetboard first, and then I punch forward. Like so. So that gets rid of that delay. If you miss that button on the left, you can take the jetboard off right here and save it. But yeah, here's the old way basically. So the old way, you go down here, and this is where you're looking for something called the magic shot. So you can spray a bunch here. You'll get these two, no problem. And then you'll get these two down here eventually by spraying a bunch and going around. But you're going to look for something called the magic shot. And that is down here. I'm going to use the fish again. Down here in this area here, you're looking for a shot that's going to travel sort of like this, behind the wall. And that means that you hit one of the targets that's behind the wall. I'll show you exactly. There it is. Do you see it? You can actually kind of still see it. It's right here. There's a shot that's going right here. You can actually see the line right here still a bit. It flew inwards like that, and that means I got it. So now I'm just looking to get that one, and there you go. There's actually another magic shot you can see going right there. So I'm going to frame advance with debug, and you can see that that shot is going inwards, right below Jack, in towards that spot. So there we go. So I got it. We're going to pull out the jetboard right here. And we're just going to like do our best, basically. Just try and stay on the jetboard if you can. Do some front flips and stuff over this. Just whatever you're comfortable with. If you don't like jetboarding there, you don't have to. And what we're going to do here is just spray these two out. And then spray this one out as well. You can hit the mountain over here, and then you'll get that. And that'll end the mission. So that's the old way. I'm going to show you the new way now. This is a little bit more complicated. But if you can do it, then go ahead. I'm going to start off the exact same way. And the way you can tell you got all 3 is if the timer is on the 40s instead of the 20s. That's how I know I got all 3. So, we're going to just jump past this. I like to do some sick jetboarding because I'm sick. So we're going to land right here. And we're going to shoot these 3 out. So again, I'm looking kind of for a magic shot here. I'm looking for a shot that's going downwards. Got 2 shots there. Do you see them on the mountain there? Right below the clock. There's one up near the enemy and there's one below. I'm going to frame advance and show you 2 shots went downwards, like down towards the left. So I got those. And I got these 2 as well. So we're going to head back. Oop. So again, you can take this slow if you don't like this. And now we're going to do a bit of a risky strat. So we're going to walk out on the railing and we're going to start shooting. And we're going to get these 2 targets on my left. And we're going to get these 2 targets down here. So we got those 2. And now once we got those, I'm going to uppercut and spin off of this. You want to do it just right. If you do it too early, you'll hit the death plane. So we're going to uppercut spin. I actually got it boosted there. And you can see there's 2 targets on my right that I didn't get. So I'm going to want to shoot 1 burst. And then once I'm low enough, we shoot more. You want to be low enough to the point where the mission will end just like that. And I'll show you what that does. So I'm just going to make sure I don't die. I'm going to kill the enemies here. When you get over here with this strat, the elevator will be at the bottom. So you can fly all the way down like so, and you won't have to wait for the, you won't have to stand on the elevator and wait. For the other strat, you'll have to stand on the elevator and wait. And it is technically the fastest individual level strat, I think. But with this strat, well, I guess all missions is technically faster. But with this strat, it's faster because when you end the level in the lower section of the eco mine, like down here, the game assumes that you're down at the level where the elevator is as well. So if you end the mission down here, the elevator will also be down there, and you'll be good, basically. So once that happens, you want to just pull away the jetboard. Sometimes you can get trolled by the enemies, and sometimes this hover will even drop. If you die here, the elevator will cancel itself like that, so you'll have to wait on the elevator again. And that's Bomb Train, basically. So moving on to Precursor Robot. Very straightforward. Not even going to need to explain a whole lot. Yeah, we're doing a tutorial for this, as love. I'm doing things very... I'm basically treating people like they know what they're doing. Treat people like they're confident. Do not spray the gun here. Just shoot them off nice and slow. It's the fastest you can do. You want to shoot them off with a beam reflexor. So don't get too close to this one. I've gotten burnt and fallen off and died on a couple runs. High jump, spin and shoot. High jump, shoot. Sorry. High jump, spin and shoot. Because whenever you spin, you activate the rapid fire in the air like so. You see? So, a couple swag strats you can do if you want. Don't do that. Actually, don't do that. You'll die. You can do that if you want. That's way safer of a swag strat. Do that. So, just make sure, like, you know what you're hitting. It doesn't really matter which order you hit. Just make sure you're kind of facing the right way. So high jump, shoot, spin and shoot. And tap forward very incrementally on the pillars so that you're facing the right way. The gun will sort of auto-lock to it. So, you have nothing to worry about. It's a very easy boss. Nothing to it, really. Once again, just shoot these enemies off. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So I'm not sure where to exactly start with Palace Ruins. One thing I will say when you're learning No Out of Bounds is please try to learn this movement to towards Palace Ruins well. I've had many runs I've seen many runs from newer players get disqualified from going out of bounds because they didn't know how to do this exact thing or how to do this well. So you're gonna want to learn how to do this well. So let's get to that. You're gonna pull out the jetboard, do 2 side flips, and get around this little spot here. And then when you get to this spot, you're gonna want to grind halfway up the railing, jump off of it, do a launch jump into a hover. Like that. And hover up into this hole here. That's how you do that. You want to practice getting that down, because if you hover and you go out of bounds, like if you, like since it's just practice, so I'm just going to show it. I've seen so many people like get up here and then they aim it wrong and do stuff like this. They bounce off of this and go out of bounds like this. Like they fly over this and then they like, you know, clip through this, like they go too high and then they clip through this wall and now you're out of bounds and now your run's disqualified. Basically, because it's a no out of bounds run, right? I've seen this happen to a lot of players. You don't want that to happen. Another problem I see is in no out of bounds. Let me just get the speed right. Another thing I see that's problematic is people hover too fast and then they go through the ceiling like this. That's also not allowed. You don't want to do that. You want to practice this until you can hit the hole perfectly. And right here, there's nothing you can do to speed this up. There's no punches, no nothing. Just gotta walk it down. Once you get about halfway down this, like here, you can punch board into that. And this is, yeah, basically the hardest mission. So you're gonna just want to practice this a lot to the point where the enemies won't be too bad of a problem, but they will be a problem when you're doing it at first. So try and just copy my jetboard movement. And once again, just, you want to go over here. You can free fall if you want this right here. Bounce into this thing. Vine, thanks for the sub. I will thank you more thoroughly later. I'm doing a tutorial. Bounce into that, side flip and do that. And then just do a couple hovers. There's a checkpoint right here that you want to get. So once you die after this, then there you go. So this is another jump that is kind of tough getting over this wall. You can either extend a front flip over it, you can hover over it. And since you're probably not going to get it first try, I'll show you a couple things you can do. You can do the jump from earlier that you got taught, and to get over the wall like that. You can break the wall. I used to do that as well. Just go into Dark Jack and just hold R1 and then tap R2. Well, actually no, you want to release it. Sorry. Release R1 and then do that. You don't even have to fire the whole thing. So you can break it as well. So that's another thing you can do. You're just going to want to learn how to press circle at the right times. Follow my movement to the best that you can. I like to go over here. I think you should go over here if you're more new. Yeah, you don't have to die here. In a lot of other categories, you have to die in one of the, either this checkpoint or the previous checkpoint to make the game out soft lock at the end of Palace Ruins, but that's only an any % in hero mode thing. It's not a no out of bounds. So you can either go to the right and break the wall. That's kind of slow. So what we're going to do is we can go over here and hover around this. And then there's a lot of ways you can do this ending. I got to just teach you all how to do the ending. But basically, you want to side flip, side flip. Okay, so I messed up my movement there. Hold on. So you want to jump because you're kind of spawn in the ground. So that's annoying. So side flip, side flip. Okay, I'm doing this wrong. Normally I do this from like full speed, so it's not as hard. There we go. So hover this, side flip there, and then you can do many things here. You can either hover bounce this, so you can bounce off the wall. If you're a bit more to the left than that, you can get a hover bounce. So I'll just clear the enemies here and just sort of show you how that goes about. Oops. Let's figure these guys out. So this is sort of what the hover bounce looks like. That might still be too far left, too far right. Yeah, it's too far right still. But basically, if you're too far, I'll try one more time here, just to show you all. It's been a while since I've done this because this isn't like the strat I use anymore. That'll be good. So you can hover bounce here, bounce off the wall, take the jetboard off, and then go here. You can even have a good enough angle to the point where you can land right there. So let me just die, and I'll show you again. Oh, wow. I got this checkpoint. I got a checkpoint because I spawned there with debug mode. It's kind of funny. So what I like to do, which you can do as well if you're confident, is I like to have a lot of speed, hover, free fall, and start another hover. It's really not as bad as you think, but just do whatever you think is right here. I'll teach you another backup is I see a lot of people land down here. If you land down here, the best way of getting up, a lot of people seem to struggle with this, is there's an infinite jump ceiling on the right here in the corner of the building. So what you can just do is literally just double jump and spin into it and just sort of climb it like that. Like, that's the best way to do that. I see a lot of people like pull out the gun and make it up like that and get a slow ledge grab, but like you can literally just like climb it like that. It's really, really simple. I'm trying to think if there's anything else over here. You can also just take the normal way if you want. I do recommend, I don't know why I'm getting this checkpoint, it's just because I did some weird shit in debug mode. If you're uncomfortable with it, you can hover here, pull out the jetboard, and then punchboard over here, and then go the normal way. It's barely slower. The enemies are just kind of in the way, and then you can go over here. And then you want to do the same thing as before, go dart jack, hold R1, and the moment you release it, tap R2, and then you'll like fly into the next zone. Okay, it's time for BTR, which is an area with a lot of different strats, and I'll try my best to teach you BTR. This is the area in the game I think you should practice the most. BTR, you should not be getting away with like 3-minute BTRs. Try to get your BTRs when you're new to like 230, 225, sort of that range. If you can get better, awesome. But try to get around 230. Don't be slacking on BTR because you can lose a lot of time here. So you want to skip the cutscene and jump and boost at the start. Try not to flip at the start and try and copy my movement here. Don't go into the pit like that. Do this. Boost there. Jump and boost. And then if you're low enough on this ramp, I like to boost and hold shooting. And I like to hold like R1 and I like to boost. The guy on the top right, you'll see, I'm going to frame advance. He can really be a nuisance, and I might actually hit him. Okay, I didn't. But if you go with full speed into that guy, he's a rock wall that you can just hit right there. So be careful of that. If you're a bit further up the ramp, you don't want to boost. You want to wait until you're down the ramp to boost, basically. And then right here, you want to hit the wall on the right side. Otherwise, the car will start flipping around or it'll like bounce upwards and stuff like that. And since we're new, we're not going to be doing barrier skip. One common trick in BTR is you're going to want to jump into the side of these pillars like that. It turns your car very nicely. I haven't actually gotten these pillars in so long. It's kind of funny. But yeah, you're going to want to do that. Break that pillar and boost over here. So once you get through here, you can have a nice jump. Just jump and boost at the same time and jump over here. Slow down a bit and bump into this bridge. Boost over this. And again, you're going to want to approach the tower from the side and jump. And then jump and boost again so you can get going quicker. Just pay attention to how I'm like steering the car. I'm backing it up and I'm doing all sorts of stuff. I'm letting go of X. These are all subtle little details that just through hours of playing this mission has taught me. And I just kind of have a good feel for it. So you're going to want to go forward and boost. And now you're going to want to try to do the Qatar jump. I'll teach you 2 ways of doing this. We're going to have that missile go away first because the missile that comes down is RNG and it's unfortunate. So you're going to want to just line it up like so and just jump and boost at the same time while holding to the right. Like that. And that was a pretty good skip. So that's what you want to do. The other way of doing it, if you don't like that way, is the super old school way. I do recommend trying to learn that. But if you are uncomfortable with it, you can do this. You can drive up this side of the wall, jump and boost, and you'll make it up every time. That was kind of sloppy, but yeah, you'll kind of get the idea of it. Once again, you can just do that. That's like a little bit of a task strat, I guess, that I like to do. It's not a task, but like it's a more difficult strat that I like to do, is drive into the tower with a correct speed and then jump and do and the car will do a full 180. It's really great. So that barrier will go down. You're gonna want to like be conservative with your boosts here. Boost once here. Be slow here. Boost to the tower. And then brake the moment you hit this. jump and boost here. Slow down. Do that. Take this really nice and slow. Drive on the left so you're not in the way of all the rubble. Jump and boost at the same time. Do this with the tower. And this is the easiest tower in the game coming up. You just hold X. And let's just look at the controller cam. Just do that. Literally just drive up the thing and then boost. Some people boost here, some people don't. It all depends on how the tower previously went. I'm gonna not boost, drive into it, and boost here instead. Now for the ending. You're gonna want to follow this route. Get that. Get that. You're gonna want to break the tires and the oop. Alright, I messed up. Oh, can I make it? Hey! Hey, okay, no problem. No problem, folks. Okay, so you're gonna want to break the tires in the air. That's a very, very good strategy. Break this one, go down the pit, and you can just jump over to the next one. I think you should just do this. It's pretty scary jump, so just bump into that. And also, you can just bump into the last bridge and just drive over normally. I think you should learn this. This jump is not that hard. You drive into the pit, and then you wait until the car ramps up, and then you jump and boost at the same time. Like that. It's easy. I think you should learn it. And then jump and boost into the ending. There you go. But if you don't want to do it, you can drive into the bridge. That's just a lot of, like, you know, look at how all the top players that... Me and Goofy use controller cam. So you can analyze runs and see how we do it. And, yeah. So it's a lot about that. I really think you should be taking good notice of the input display. Like, take a look at whether or not I'm jumping first, I'm boosting first, or, you know, when you're learning concussor high jumps, what are the exact inputs for those? What are my exact inputs for the hover? Like, things like that, you know? So hold down X here, and just spray away. You don't want these little, I don't even know what these things are. They're just like blobs of something. You don't want them to kill you. And so since this is no out of bounds, we're going to want to do the next part here kind of safe. And it's done a lot different in this category than a lot of other categories. So as the mission starts, you're going to want to be in claw grip again with the controller. So you want your left index on D-pad down, hold both in, hold both sticks in, and start spraying until you get to about 50 ammo. Like this, and then punch towards the door. So 454, 455 should be getting that. Pull out the jetboard, do these two, and then you can free fall this if you want, and start jumping towards this to preserve your speed. Take off the jetboard before you get to the ice thing, otherwise the ice physics will glitch out a bit. Now this room, you're gonna want to follow it in a clockwise order, because otherwise all the enemies won't spawn and you'll soft lock in this room. You want to be really fast, otherwise those flying guys will hit you. Normally they don't. So you can shoot a gyro buster there, and then get this last guy down here. Punch towards the door, pull this out, and then you're gonna want to get over these enemies and start a hover to the right here. So this is the safe way. I think you should do it. Just hover to the right. Make sure you're not hovering out of the ship, because lol, out of bounds. And then just start shooting this gun slowly as you're descending towards here, and spin to cancel the fall momentum. That's how I think you should do it. And then over here, if you have ammo left, you want to shoot the beam reflexor or the gyro burster. Otherwise, you're going to want to use the needle laser. And you're going to want to kill all the ground enemies, because all the ground enemies are the ones that spawn the next thing here. And yeah, now you're gonna do the escape, and for the love of God, do not hover over the escape. You lose actually a lot of time. It's like at least 3 seconds that you lose from hovering over the ending here. So just follow what I do. It's really easy. I have never fucked this up in a run in a really long time. So just do this, and you'll be good. It's not hard. Just do that. That, then to front. Don't hover over it. Hovering over it is slow. Very slow. And now for Terraformer. I will teach you fast cycle, but I will also teach you how to back it up to normal cycle. I have a video on it as well, but I will try my best to teach you how to do it. So you're going to want to have good driving towards the Terraformer, and you're going to want to approach it from the left. Yeah, you should definitely learn that. Don't hover over it, especially if you're not consistent at hovering over it. So you want to break that. Skid turn here, break that. Very simple. Back up. Get these two. Skid turn to get these two. Get those two. You're going to want to get that. And now get these two. You'll have some spikes that are going to rain down on you. Don't drive too fast, otherwise you'll start driving into them and they can land on your car. So I'm going to purposely miss these two. Actually, I won't miss them. So what you can do is, if you miss fast cycle and you're too slow, basically I'd be shooting like now to get these two, and then I would turn to the left. You can basically follow a run. Turn to the left, get those two, turn to the right, full 180, and then you get them. If you miss these two, you can back it up to normal cycle by going over here, standing here, then you get the two on that. You get these two, and then you turn 180, and you get the last one. Loses 8 seconds or 7, but you get the gist of it. You can analyze a lot of runs for that. And now you're going to want to pull out the red gun again for some concussor high jumps to scale the final boss. Skips a lot of the platforming here. You're just going to want to do a high jump and then spin as well. Sometimes you can ledge grab that. And I'm basically not going to pause throughout the final boss. I'm just going to talk. You're gonna want to do a couple final boss practice runs just to get the gist of it, because you want to be getting around, 425 on your first run, maybe 430 on your first couple runs, but you don't want to be going over that. You want to get good final bosses. The really good people like me and Goofy and Wotan, we get like in any percent and noob and stuff like that, we get sub 410, stuff like that. So that's what you can get. And I'm also going to be teaching you laser skip because I think it's easy. So when you finally get up here, one thing I didn't talk about with the gyro buster is you can shoot it by pressing R1, and you can press R1 again to stop it in midair. So we're going to shoot it here, and I'm going to press R1 again, and it's going to stop it, and it's going to stop it in the middle of the arena. I'm going to pull out... The only guns you really need for this are the beam reflexor, the gyro buster, the needle... Well, you're going to need almost all your weapons, and you're going to need almost nothing in red. But you can use it if you run out. So basically, you want to use this, and then pull out the arc wielder to start grinding some ammo off of this. And then you want to start shooting away. In phase 1, you want to quickly get away. You want to get these enemies away. I like to shoot a gyro buster now. I used to use the beam reflexor, but the gyro buster is super, super good. So let's just get these enemies away. And then we want the final boss to start shooting his laser as quickly as he can. I'm going to grab this ammo and then hit him with my first needle laser. He's going to bonk once. We're going to grab the ammo in the back here. Do the exact same thing as last time. And now we're going to get our first spinner at the end of this. So you want to shoot the... Get this guy off. So there's the spinner. Once that is destroyed, you wait about 5 seconds. Shoot another one. And the spinner's going to get destroyed right away on the other side. I'm going to shoot another gyro buster. If you're uncomfortable with it, you don't have to. You can also use the arc wielder. So I'm going to use that right here, which is really good for grinding ammo. It's low ammo usage and grinds good ammo as well as good clear. So it's only when he spawns like a huge wave. So now I know that he's not spawning a huge wave. That's why I'm using the arc wielder here. Of course, yeah, I will explain laser skip. So especially grinding ammo on this guy is so nice. So now we're basically set for ammo for most of the fight because we grinded it there. So he's going to shoot one more laser. And for the end of second phase, he's not going to bonk. So what we're going to do is we're going to hit him with the needle laser and then immediately switch to the gyro buster and shoot it. and stop it there. And then do this. Clear out the arena. Quickly shoot one of these. And it's going to destroy the spinner. And once again, we're going to wait 5 seconds. Shoot that again. Destroys the spinner. And I'm going to wait for the enemies. Shoot that there. So I can shoot a second one. Because my ammo's good. So now I'm just going to pull out the needle laser again. Because he's starting to shoot his own laser. And he's only going to spawn, like, just tiny guys on the left and the right. He's not going to spawn anything, like, in the middle either. Like, that's... You basically don't need to clear this fast. Like, you have all the time in the world. So we're basically full, more or less. Okay, so now it's time for laser skip. So what you're gonna want to do now is hit him with the needle laser after this laser. Pull out the nuke, and after the second bonk, wait about 1.5 seconds and shoot the nuke out to the... Excuse me. Shoot the nuke out to the right. It skips one of the lasers. It takes about 7 seconds. So hit him, and pull out the nuke. So we got 1, and then 2 right here. Shoot the nuke. And then the moment you shoot the nuke, you want to pull out the gyro burster. Shoot it right here. The nuke will go off. You want to shoot it just late enough so that the enemy's iframes go away. And all the enemies will basically be wiped immediately. Now you're going to wait a bit for this laser to go away. Shoot the mass inverter for the spinner to go away. And now you're at the final phase, so just... You want to use this ammo. You want to use this ammo. For that phase that went away, now again, we're going to want the spinner to go away. There we go. Shoot that. Another spinner's going to pop up. And enemies. And then once these two are cleared, that'll basically determine whether or not you've gotten laser skip, and I should have gotten it here. So if you shoot another laser... Oh, I actually didn't get it. So if you shoot another laser, that means you didn't get it, like, right there. I actually am not sure how I didn't get it. I was, like, pixels off. Frames off, sorry. But yeah, that's the end of Jak 3. Hopefully, this was a good enough tutorial. I'm going to assume that... And then, obviously, you just need to hit him. And that's time. It's the end of the run. So, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments. I'm going to upload this to my alt YouTube. I'm not going to spend too much time... I didn't spend too much time on each individual thing because I think... It is good to just get a brief explanation and then you get to do trial and error. The way to become a good speedrunner is by doing things on your own and by not sticking to the tutorial too much. With trial and error, with practice, with time, you'll become great at the game. And that is the best way you'll learn. So asking a million questions and being uncomfortable playing the game and just like not... giving up after a couple tries of doing the same thing. You're going to need to do a bit of grinding. You're going to need to do a bit of practice. And you're going to have to sit down, learn that hover, learn that, you know, jetboard control, learn those concussor jumps. Once you get the hurdle, over the hurdle, it's a fun-ass fucking game. And I guarantee you will want to run it.